I could, I could. I'm going to preface this with an ad that I saw for a company that was selling burgers, and their tagline was, "You won't believe, you'll be surprised that it's them." And I didn't like that ad. And I kind of started the show with doing exactly what I disliked, that I didn't want to do, is saying a conservative and environmentalist,
Yeah,
like it shouldn't match up when it
right.
absolutely should match up. If you look at sort of conservative values,
Hmm.
it shouldn't be a surprise to people. However, a lot of times it is.
Right.
So I'm going to ask it in a question I almost don't even want to ask, but how does an environmental scientist, end up in the Conservative Party?
Right. Um, Actually, being an engineer really helps with that
Mm,
because when I first day of engineering school, the lecture was an engineer is maximum utilization of available resources. And I'm going, okay, that doesn't mean consume all the resources.
mm-hmm.
It means getting the maximum value out of it so that
Right.
society benefits the most.
Mm-hmm.
Conservative, the root word is conserve,
Yeah.
which is to protect and use efficiently and to the best availability. And if you talk to conservatives, they hate waste, like
Mm,
in any form, wasting money, wasting food, wasting resources, and that sort of thing. So for me, it's just a natural thing, being my engineering background, to try and get the maximum value and not waste things.
mm-hmm.
And so it's really just a matter, again, of communicating to people. And there's been a lot of miscommunication trying to paint conservatives as not caring about the environment. Yet in the last two regimes that we had, we set aside most of the parkland, more parkland than anyone else.
Oh, really?
And they supported the enforcement division more than anyone else. We didn't lose resources from the environmental pollution enforcement division. And again, it's just getting that message out.
Yeah. What do you think it is, though? It's easy. I'm not in politics,
Right.
really. So, it's easy to say that somebody's been misrepresented, but usually, we work with branding and things like that, and a lot of the onus, it has to. We a lot of times are trying to get a company to say, no, this is how people are perceiving you, but
Right.
this is how you need to adjust. Where did that happen? Because you're right, a conservative, the very word would think that you would go
Yeah.
towards protecting everything so that you can then maximize its values.
Yeah.
Where did that where did that go off? What happened?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, every group, no matter which political party, has a spectrum of people.
Right.
And on some of them, they looked at the economics and they wanted to conserve the economics, and they only saw the environment as a cost.
Mm,
They
yeah.
didn't correlate to the benefit that the environment brings and the value that it brings, and at how having a better environment really enhances life in total and actually makes you more profitable. So, to give you a prime example, when we prosecuted one mill, um, I met the vice president a year or so later. Okay, he comes up to me across the foyer of a hotel and wants to shake my hand. He says, "Thank you for prosecuting me." And I'm going, "Okay, that's not the normal response that I would get. Would you mind explaining?" And he says, "After you prosecuted us, I can now go into the boardroom, and whenever I have an environmental problem, I can get the budget every time because I say, Peter Krahn and the government's going to come and prosecute us if I don't get this money."
Right.
And he says, "And now we're more profitable." And I go, "Okay, could you explain that?" And he says, "Well, we started cleaning up our facility, and it made it a much more pleasant place to work. It was more healthful for the workers,
Mm-hmm.
and the workers saw we were doing something to protect the environment. So they were much more enthusiastic, and our absenteeism dropped off to almost nothing. Our productivity went up, so
Mm,
we're more profitable."
yeah.
And so you have people in industry that may have a perspective that environment is a cost. And so that's where I think it kind of went off the rails. And you hear people saying, drill baby drill and all that sort of stuff. It's very aggressive. It's not really putting things into context. And
Right.
we need to get our message out better.
Yeah. And I think it's fun, and I think there's an irony to that too. Is a lot of that. I know that some of the people that are even on my Facebook that post the drill baby drill.
Yeah.
The irony of it is, to be honest, I hate fishing. I'm not that patient. I can't do it. I've tried so many times.
Yeah.
I like hunting and that because I can actually walk.
Yeah, there you go.
But the the people that are doing it also are in. A lot of them are working in these communities
Correct.
and living. You're talking with one of your team, and he said about work and live.
Yeah.
And that's most of these people. Most people don't just go to work and then on the weekends they're going out, and the Albertans with the big boat.
Well,
And
I love Albertans.
yeah, it amazes. On a quick side note, it absolutely amazes me that over the last few years there is some sort of tension between BC and Alberta.
Oh yeah.
It's unbelievable, but that's a whole other show.
Yeah.
They're I mean, what better neighbor to have, two titans of industry,
Sure.
essentially. But anyway, but that those, and I think there was some sort of something slipped where the guy that's out on this beautiful lake is now thinking that he's against the environmental, conserving the environment, so that industry can still push forward. Somehow that
There's a
message
disconnect. There's a disconnect.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I've run into that a lot. People working in industry and they say, well, the fish are still here. And I'm working on a case right now. Part of it is understanding the deep science. And when I deal with stuff, it's extremely toxic. Like I'm dealing with stuff in the part per billion range. So that's like
Right.
an eyedropper drop in 1,000 barrels of water will kill fish, or 30 eyedropper drops. And a lot of people don't understand the subtlety and the power of chemistry in how it plays. And so they don't see it. It's like I have to make the invisible visible when I'm talking about that, which is why I use the animation.
Yeah.
And so again, it's very much an educational process. They're used to working with the jobs. And I like to tell people, originally we had to sort of cut civilization out of the environment because it was just so big and there was so much of it and never seemed to be an end. Now we've come to the realization that we have to put the environment back into civilization. So if you go in North Vancouver and you walk down the street, you'll see that the storm drains are redesigned so that it flows into a place where there's trees and the water can settle out. So it's a learning process on those people as well.
Right.